Right, guys, welcome back to the Mr. Arsenal podcast. My guest isn't here yet. Sammy, he's on his way. For the meantime, you're just going to have me give my views on Saturday. And yeah, I'm actually looking forward to the Wednesday night this week for some bizarre reason. Well, you Europa League match. But yeah, we'll get into that later. But yeah, my initial thoughts personally on the Saturday night game. Not really impressed. As you'd expect, as you know, anyone's been just subscribed to the channel recently, you'll know I've recently turned full on Henry has to go, basically, because we're going backwards, and it round at home. Again, it's like game by game, we are getting worse, progressively worse. No matter what team he picks, what formation he picks, we are getting worse. We can't even hold a 1-0 lead. I came out of that ground on Saturday evening. I'm questioning Henry to get in, as per usual, but his substitutions were bizarre beyond belief. I can understand Lacazette because I think he might have took a knock, and so I can understand that. It's like it pretty much a like attacker for another attacker, fair enough. But the second sub onwards, it's just bizarre. I mean, why take off your only defensive-minded midfielder and basically play him in a but initially playing not in a defensive midfield role. You have Ceballos and Ozil, who are meant to be our creative players, and you're making them play in a defensive midfield role, forcing Torreira then to play the number 10 role, basically, effectively. And then taking that defensive-minded midfielder off for another attacker at 1-0. As soon as that, I was in the clock end, and as soon as that happened, I was slightly questioning what the hell was he doing. I was, how do I put it, counting the seconds so we conceded a goal. I didn't have to wait long. Because all that substitution did, but literally, no matter how he's playing the player, left on midfield completely exposed. And yeah, David Ceballos switches off along with a few others. Socrates, and the ball goes in, and then Socrates is just ball watching. David Luiz is nowhere. The nearest defender out of them two was Socrates, and he's just there, standing there, static, looking at the ball. Like, we're not playing with rookies now instead of a centre back pairing here. Yeah, Socrates mainly, since they've gotten away last season, he's playing like a complete novice, rookie. What do you call it? That's how he's playing. Excuse me. And it's costing us game after game after game. I mean, what has it got to take for him to be dropped? Because he isn't performing like he was the majority of last season. He's not performing. He's getting worse game by game. He's making errors that are leading to goals. But there's no consequence to his actions. It's not like we haven't got backup centre backs crying out loud that do a better job at the moment. But for some reason, Emery is one of Emery's favourites, and he can't be. Xhaka just can't be dropped. Before everyone goes, oh, what's happening? You mentioned Jackie, but you didn't play at all on Saturday. You weren't in the squad at all. Yeah, that's more of a how can I put it? Ta- Basically, a tactical thing. Basically, where they didn't want to. They wanted to show the fans that there are consequences to his actions. There isn't, because I guarantee he will play this week, either Wednesday or come Saturday evening. He will be playing with the armband. So there's no consequence to his actions. He hasn't. The fact that his attitude as well is of I'm not in the wrong for what happened against Palace. Right. And just on that, the abuse he talks about in addresses, I don't condone, that's disgusting. But he's took it out on the wrong people. Instead of taking it out, he's going to vent out, take it out on the people that are attacking you and your family. Or better than that. Come off social media, but at the same time, report it to the right authorities, i.e. the club and the police. Let them deal with it. But his whole attitude stinks. And the fact that people honestly believe that his statement was an apology, it's far from it. It was literally, if you read between the lines, if you read word for word very carefully, he's just trying to justify himself, justify how he acted that night because of the abuse he received. But as I've just said, he took it out on the wrong people. Because no one in that ground that time was making threats to his family or of that nature. They were jeering him at first, and then when he threw the armband to the floor, that turban hit the floor, and still just strolled off as you do, the fans turned. The fans in that 60,000 fans in that stadium turned on him. Rightly so, because he's meant to be our club captain. We're 2-2, we need a goal, and he's strolling off with a strop. Then to add insult to injury, he makes a bigger strop out of things and brought the club into disrepute because of his actions. And it's saying something when the ball and Emery are publicly saying he was in the wrong, he should apologise. And Emery, the fact that Emery on last Tuesday threw him under the bus and said, he should apologise, but don't expect one because he doesn't believe he's in the wrong. And then suddenly after our embarrassing defeat, the next day after our embarrassing defeat, suddenly a statement appears saying he's apologising. He's not. He hasn't. And just to verify, I was at the game after match, talked to fans, and even they saying the same thing. It's not an apology. It was him justifying his behaviour. Oh, of course, there's a certain section of people who abused that, not myself and my wife and my child, and sent abusive messages, this, that, and the other to him, and comments in his social media, etc., etc. Because they've done it. I'm not going to take it out on them. Oh no, I'm not going to report it to this. Oh no, I'm not going to report it to the government. Oh no, store it up, and then take it out on you, the actual fans. Because I guarantee you, the people that have been abusing him are not A, Arsenal fans, B, football fans. They are just idiots that ain't got nothing better to do in their lives than just abuse random people that are better off than them. And as I said before, that behaviour is disgusting, but he should have dealt with it a better way, and not then take it out, hold it in, and take it out on the wrong people, basically. But yeah, to be fair, I was fully expecting him to start on Saturday, but obviously when he wasn't, I was kind of surprised. literally whilst before the game's kicking off and you're thinking about it, thinking, actually, no, because it's just their way of saying, oh, we are sort of punishing him, but literally it's only the day before that on Friday. There's pictures of him training with the first team anyway. If anything, he should be training for the first team for the next month. He's been in the reserves with the youth team. Lose captaincy a lot, but you won't. Because as I said before, come Wednesday or Saturday, you will play, start with the armband. And that just proved me the club haven't took it seriously. It's just mouth work. But then that in turn will worry the fuck out of me concerning them. With the different stories of hearing about Emerald. Some people are saying they've all had enough. They're on the verge of sacking. Come Saturday, if we don't win, he's out. And then you've got another group of people saying they still have faith in him. If it's the latter, we are so screwed this season. We are not getting top four. We're getting nowhere near top four, full stop. And the annoying and frustrating thing is, player-wise, as a squad of players, this squad is good enough and is top four quality. You can get third, fourth for this squad with the right coach / manager, whatever coat it. All Emma's proven to me in the last few months, if you go back to Everton away up till now, that's how I'm judging things now. Because at that time going into that game, we were in a position where it was in our hands. We had it. It was ours to lose. Like the last Champions League spot, third and fourth was ours to lose. Could have dropped in third, yeah. And we threw it away. Game by game, we had Everton. Went there and they were in absolutely abysmal form. They started a centre back that hadn't played for a year. Came in and scored against us the winning goal and they got the clean sheet. And obviously, then a week later, we played Leicester away again. And just got torn a new one. Got played off the park completely. It's a team selection that was worrying me at the time as well because suddenly out of nowhere he was playing the likes of El Neni and other players that never normally used in his starting 11 for must-win games, no matter how close to the end of the season it was getting. And it just worried the hell out of me. And Crystal Palace, the game after Leicester, El Neni made a reappearance again. And alongside I'm going to do or Xhaka, one of the two. And it just they don't none of them even if it was they don't complement each other at all. It slows us down, it puts us on the back foot, and we ended up getting humiliated again at home to Paris. And it was that game, coming out of that game, 3-2 loss, myself and a few others, and considering there was about 4 or 5 games to go, like 4 at push. It was still in our hands, so to speak, if we had turned it down. It was down to us still. But after that players got, and that was after the players came. Myself and a few others were like, no, this is the game that's blown it for us. We ain't getting top 4 because of this result. And we were proved right. Because we went on to get battered by Wolves, like literally 3-1 in the end. 3-0, 3-1? I can't remember. It was that bad, and then Brighton came along, 1-0 up. You're thinking, well, okay, this is great. We're going to take it to the last weekend. And Xhaka, playing their Xhaka. Not just him that day, it was all of them. But in one moment, brain dead football, as I call it, he decided to grab hold of a player in the penalty box and haul him down to the floor, which resulted in a penalty, which resulted in equalising, and yeah, we just fell apart. And yeah, that's the day we officially lost top four. There's no coming back mathematically. And again, that worries the fuck out of me because the mentality just to have it in your hands and throw it away like that. The warning signs were then basically. I'm not saying the warning signs were there, and to have another chance after the league was finished, have one final chance at redeeming ourselves for that season and still getting Champions League football via Europa League. Considering our opponents are already in Champions League because they finished third. To say I was severely pissed off in the end would be an understatement. Because basically, even though I was getting past under Arsene Wenger in the latter years, when we were hot favourites for a final, 9 times out of 10, apart from Aston Villa itself, we would struggle in that moment. And that mentality came back in that Europa League final. First half, it was 50-50. We had more clear-cut chances, but just couldn't break them down. They had a few chances themselves, but yeah. So 0-0 at half-time. Second half, and we just fell apart. Literally just folded up a fucking piece of paper, basically. A bit blown in the wind. And one goal went in from Giroud, and we just put that in place. In the second it happened, I knew we weren't winning the final, we weren't coming back because I could tell from the body language of the players that the heads and everything that it dropped, the mind's gone it, the head has gone in it, that was it. And yeah, as you know, we got found out in the end. We're getting absolutely battered. Went 3-0 down, pulled it back to 3-1, and then literally seconds later, it was 4-1. And I said back then, it should be embarrassing. For the senior players itself, it should be absolutely embarrassing that the only players that really stepped up in that final were products of our youth academy in Iwobi, who's now gone to Everton, and Joe Willock, who came on as a sub as well. And we crack on to this season as well, and we've literally picked up where we left off in the sense of the performance levels being absolutely abysmal from day one. When we went to Newcastle, Steve, who's Newcastle? You got fan protesting, there's this, that, and the other. And you just go out there for 1-0 win. Then the following week you have Burnley, same thing. That bit us at home this time. Get out there for 2-1 win. But we've struggled. It says something. Newcastle and Burnley had more shots than us in their respective games. That's been a continuing pattern this season as well. That our opponents in the Premier League, most of them that we've come up against in the first 10, 11 games, have had more shots than us at goal. And more shots on target. I mean, this weekend, we're at home to Wolves, and we had 10 shots, 6 on target. Wolves had 25 shots, and they were in double figures shots on target. He just needs to go. Emery does need to go because, as I've just gone through, things have got worse, and they're getting worse game. Literally, the performances are getting worse game by game. And what's really speaking volumes to the board in particular is that we lost affected by 4 or 5 players. Like last Wednesday, we lost and got knocked out by Liverpool's youth team by 4 or 5 players. That's embarrassing. I don't care what anyone says. Yes, we had our B team now, but our B team held more experience over that team. And we just on the bench and we still lost. And Pepe all of a sudden scores 2 goals a couple of weeks ago in the Europa League. And since then, I think now, well, the last 2 games he hasn't played. Literally, he's been dropped to the bench and not used as a sub. And just going, as I mentioned about 10, 15 minutes ago, at the subs, 5 minutes ago, he's been off Tierney for Krasnach. What top head coach / manager, when you're trying to get your team to get the win, home or away, what top manager would take off the left back for another left back? You're taking off a defender, you left back, centre back, whatever, or right back. You're replacing with a fucking striker, an attacking minded player, go and get the goal. Put the pressure on the other team. Get him on the counter. Oh no, not Henry. What frustrated me more was his comments. What frustrated me more afterwards was his comments of. Again, it's contradicting himself, and there's that one sentence of, "We're disappointed with the result, but we've got a tactic spot on." Well, clearly not. It's one of the other. It's one of the other. You can't be disappointed. Let's say you got your tactic spot on. No, I'm not. Now I'm just hoping that the board, the majority of what I've heard from people in the media, was the sources I have within the club, that the board are actually on the verge of sacking him if he doesn't get. Because the latest things I've been hearing, social media, etc., and people I know, is that the board themselves are unhappy. They are not impressed. They've backed him. He's got no excuses now compared to last season where he wasn't really backed by Gazidis, who initially brought him in. He didn't really back him at all. They gave him the benefit. I think they wanted to sack him after the cup final, but they felt they couldn't because they thought they would get criticised because he wasn't really back. So they thought, okay, we're giving this summer, we'll back him, we'll throw all the money in the world at him, whatever talent we can get. Money's our object. And we've got worse. How can you improve a squad and get progressively worse performances? We have no style. We literally have no style to our game at all. It's literally, they come out in a formation, whatever formation picks for the day, and try and soak up whatever person they get thrown at them and try and counter. But there's no style to it at all. And yeah, as I said, the board aren't impressed. They want a style, they want a philosophy, they want to see attacking football, they want to see good performances, they want results. They're in the results game, and they're not seeing it. I mean, come 7 o'clock, 7 Saturday, we could be 9 points off. We will be we will be 9 points off Leicester City. We could be 9 points off Chelsea if they win their game early on that day. Going into the international break, this is why I think, from what I've been told as well, and why I believe it, it's because, again, as I said before on this channel and other channels, this setup now, Raoul, Vinay, Edu, and Josh, mainly base it on Raoul himself because I know how he worked at Barcelona, how much of a critique he was in his role over there. That this won't be accepted like it would have been under Gazidis and that old regime. And I honestly do believe they're looking at people, they've got people in to see if they take the role quickly. And as soon as they get a yo, he's out the door. But I do think come after 20 past 7, once you've lost and got humiliated by Leicester, he will be sacked that night. They won't wait. They're getting out. Worst case, in some senses, they'll give Freddie. When I say worst case, I don't want him to be thrown into the lion's den on a full-time basis straight away. Because I don't want to happen to him what's happening to Ollie at Man United. If he's ready and they believe in him, fair enough. Okay, but even then, that's still a risk. I don't want that. I don't want what's happened to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to happen to him at Arsenal, especially with our fan base, as understandably. But give it to him give him the job on an interim basis at least, and allow themselves time to appoint the right person. Worst case, Freddie can have the job till the end for the rest of the season, because I have no doubt in Freddie in the sense of he would have that the effect of what Ollie had, that's better. It wouldn't fizzle. I don't think with Freddie as well, it wouldn't fizzle out either. It's just my concern is he hasn't had the experience of managing a big club or head coaching. So something he's not managing to be a head coach. And my worry would be, would the players try and do what similar actions to what the Man United players have done to Ollie? Show up for from what was it, November last year to February, March this year, then turn it off. I do see Freddie in the future being a head coach, but I don't want my concern, my only concern. Otherwise, allow him to have the job, because I think he already has the respect of the youth players. I believe he would have the respect of the experienced players if he was given the job, either till the end of the season or whatever, just because of what he achieved as a player and what his expectations are as a coach. They'd thrive off that. In fact, I think he achieved at the club and the love he has for the club, they can thrive off that way. And I think the fans then would actually be on board with it because of his playing time at Arsenal and what he achieved in his playing career for us, and the love he obviously has for us. They get on board as well.
Free movies.
No worries, I was just chatting away and this and the other, just basically voicing my concerns that if Freddie was given the job on a full-time basis, straight from the off of him, he was to be sacked on Saturday. I wouldn't want happen to him what's happening to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and the players are down tools on him and throwing him under the bus.
Yeah.
But you was at the game as well, so I want to get your thoughts on the game, because you was there as well. And we spoke off air on Saturday, and you was actually really upset about the whole situation. So yeah, it's just vent out. Off you go.
Well, for me, this is what I've said. with Emery, he is a overly pragmatic coach. When things don't work out for us, we are, consistently persisting with those ideas. He's got no ideas. He's a small to mid club coach. This is what I said on AFTV. He is a small to mid club coach. He's got, for him, it's Arsenal job is far too big for him. We're far too big of a club. If it didn't work out with him at PSG, what makes you think it's going to work out with him at Arsenal? What makes you think it's going to work out with him at Arsenal? If he didn't work out for him properly at PSG, it's not going to work at Arsenal. And the thing is, the board have given him the backing, right? The board have bought him players. The board have bought, Nicolas Pepe, all this and all that. They think it's all about the coaching. And if the coaching is not right, like I said, we've got players that can win games single-handedly. And if they're not winning the game single-handedly, then you know what? It just tells you that Emery is not a good coach anymore. I honestly, I gave him the backing. I created Walk with Emery. I was like, you know what? He can mess up, but I'll still stick with him. I'll still, support his side, all this and all that. But you know what? This guy, he can't do anything anymore. His coaching selection is wrong. Thing was, right, when, Xhaka, for example, right? When for those Wolves fans singing Jackers, right? Your fans are, stuff like that.
Yeah.
The thing is, right? I understand, us fans being upset, right? But the thing is unacceptable is to give a player abuse like that. Very, very unacceptable. I find that, I agree. The Wolves fans are right. We are horrible fans. We are horrible people, and
I have touched on that. I did touch on that earlier myself, and I was saying that the people that had subjected him to the abuse of himself, his wife, and his child are absolutely disgusting. I don't condone that at all, but he sort of always, for me, the statement that was released was basically him justifying that, because these people, because these select people have done this to me on social media, it's okay for me to then abuse and do what I did on that against Palace, and that's sort of rubbed him out the wrong way, because it's still, again, he's still not owning his own actions. And I fully expect him to play either Wednesday or Saturday with the armband, and that to me will say there's no consequence to his actions really. If he doesn't play this week at all, the Wednesday or Saturday, then okay, there are consequences. The club are taking this very, very seriously, and I'll start giving them a second. I'll start believing in him, and I'll start believing that they'll take action against Emery as well. And that come Saturday, he'll be out of a job, because I've no faith that we'll get a result on Saturday. I mean,
well, hang on one second.
Do you read into it that 8 members of staff were sacked today?
Anyways, like for me, what I would say is this, when with Xhaka, right? Ever since we've signed him, I don't know if you've seen a coloration. Don't get me wrong, I don't condone the abuse that he's been getting. I do not condone it. I don't think that's right at any level. It's not right. But for me as a player, for him as a player at the club, I don't like him, because let me tell you this correlation, right? Ever since he's joined the club, right, we have not qualified for the Champions League. Ever since he joined the club, and he's the one that's made the most amount of errors that have led to losing games, right? So until we get him out the team, get him out the club, then you know what, we will strive forward. You know what it is nowadays? Fans are impatient with players. Fans are very, very impatient with players, and if they, don't feel like the player's not performing, they will say things. But then, if they're consistently doing it wrong, they will say more abusive things. Even Rio Ferdinand was mentioning, he didn't get, like, it was during the controversy over his contract at Man United, he was booed at Charlton. He was booed. Like, if you're not playing well, of course people are gonna boo you. I mean, people say us fans are bad. Have you seen him? If Xhaka was doing what he was doing at Real Madrid, he'd get it worse. He would get it worse. I mean, you remember when Bale didn't do well in his second season at Real Madrid, and people started kicking his car and stuff?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I remember all that.
it can be a lot worse. I mean, for everyone saying us fans are bad, you don't know what it's like in other places. In Italy, for example, I don't want to talk about that because that's very touchy and
Well,
does make me upset.
that's disgusting itself. It's getting worse. And the fact that
It's
no one's
disgusting. It
and
makes it
the
makes
fact
me
that you're
upset.
not getting involved or FIFA not getting involved says it all.
Yeah, it just makes me upset. It really does. And the worst thing is someone like Moise Keane, who's an Italy international, had to leave his
Mm.
own country to play football in the UK just to escape stuff like that. It's bang out of order. There should always be sanctions for that type of stuff. There should be sanctions for this type of stuff. And you know what it is nowadays? It's just very bad. But the Jackham thing, yeah, I understand. It's not right. It's not right to abuse him. I'll put it out there now for anybody that can hear this, inherit this, implement this into their lives. Understand you do not like a player, but do not give them abuse. That's unnecessary. Like mentioning families and stuff like that, because that's not right. Because their family didn't do anything to you. Why would you go after some other player's family because you don't like the person? That's bang out of order for me. I do not condone that stuff. And then I saw like the stuff like that I don't like. I feel like some of us Arsenal fans really ungrateful sometimes. I mean, there's like people saying, "Oh yeah, we should get rid of Lacazette, etc., etc., etc." I said it on Twitter. He's not one person I want to get rid of because I know he's a top class player on his day. But
Mm.
but what I've said is that I'd only be okay with it if we got Erling Haaland in from RB Salzburg. I don't know if you ever heard of the lad, Erling Haaland. He's a top class centre forward. And if we got him in from RB Salzburg, then I wouldn't mind it with the sale of Lacazette. But I don't want to sell Lacazette or Aubameyang because they guarantee you goals every season. But my main focus is Unai Emery. What I think of the guy is that he is overly pragmatic and he is not good enough for any other club. He's not good for any team. He's literally not good enough for us. He's not good enough for. He's not good enough for any big club. Because watch after this. Watch when Arsenal get rid of him. Which club is going to take him?
Well, exactly. As I was saying before, do we read into anything today? Reports of 8 members of staff and coaching staff have been sacked apparently today. Do we read into that, or is that just
I feel like that's something you must read into. I'm not gonna lie
uh,
to you.
do we read into it then that Unai Jose Mourinho that was again at the stadium on Saturday apparently? Have to read into that as well then?
Yeah,
If so,
yeah.
if so, are the clubs selling themselves for a short-term fix, or do you think he'll be brought in as a long-term?
I think Jose Mourinho is a short-term fix.
Because I think it was Connie. I was only last week, and he said that if it was from now to the end of the season, he'd be okay with it. But if it was long-term, then no. But I can understand where he's coming from. But
Yeah,
long-term, who would you go for long-term?
Julian Nagelsmann. Julian
Uh,
Nagelsmann,
is it Leipzig, isn't he?
the Leipzig coach.
Yeah, he's doing wonders over there. And with oh, with Leipzig at the moment. Obviously, Bayern Munich have set their manager yesterday as well, and that's the thing that's running at home for Arsenal fans. What happened yesterday with Bayern Munich? They literally lost 3 games this season.
Yeah,
Got humiliated this weekend against Frankfurt,
yeah.
and they've acted. And our fans are like, well, why aren't we acting? Why are we holding that to the international break? If that's true, if it's true.
That's true. 100%.
Um,
I don't disagree with that.
what do
I
you? No, sorry. What are your thoughts going into Wednesday night's game?
What do I think of Wednesday night's game?
Well, because obviously the away game against Victoria, because it's been moved to Wednesday night.
Well, I think that's kind of good in our sense, but it really doesn't do anything for us. It doesn't really justify anything. It doesn't justify the fact how crap we are. It doesn't justify anything. if anything, it just shows why do we bother sometimes in this day and age. I'm starting to think, what's the point of football these days? It's making you falling out of love, and that's the danger zone. If you fall out of love with football, that's it really. I'm starting to think, you know what? I I, I, I literally cannot be asked anymore when it comes to watching us play. I just feel like sometimes it's got to a point where I'm not looking forward to watching us anymore. Like we're playing, I feel like there's something better I could do. That's how Unai's made me feel. That's how the club's made me feel. You know, this is the thing, and the one thing I wanted to talk to you say on this podcast as well, Ryan, for those that are listening, right? If you understand the world of business and the way that the world of business works, right, Ryan, right?
Yeah.
Some sentiments, being sentimental costs you a lot of money. It costs you a lot, right? Because if you look at this, weigh this up, right? To sack Unai Emery costs you £6 million, right? Sacking Unai Emery costs you £6 million.
Mm-hmm.
However, you know, missing out on the Champions League costs you 45 million. You've got a crop of players there good enough to single-handedly get you into the Champions League, right? What choice are you going to make? It's like this, Ryan, right? You have, say for example, the shirt you're wearing, right? Say for example,
Mm.
a big designer brand shirt, right, is on sale for £6. Yeah, and
Mm.
another person sells that same shirt for £45. Where are you gonna go?
Yeah.
You'd go for the one that costs £6, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Let, let,
Yeah.
let, let, let me give you another example, and this is for some people if they don't know how this works, right? So, if say for example, someone says to you, Ryan, you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna lose. I'm gonna take £6 off you now, right? But later on, you're gonna gain £45, right? And someone else comes to you and says to you, you know, you can keep £6 that you have now, but you're gonna lose £45 later. What would you pick?
Hold the first one.
You would let someone take £6 off you now and
Mm.
gain £45 later when you need it the most. This is what qualifying for the Champions League is like for Arsenal.
Mm.
This is what it's like. You get rid of Emery now, you will qualify for it at the end of the season. I promise you that now. If Arsenal get rid of him now, Arsenal get rid of Emery tomorrow, whenever they do before the international break, if they get rid of him, they're gonna qualify for the Champions League at the end of the season. And today, like you said, the 8 staff that are leaving. The only time you've ever heard of 8 staff leaving is when a big manager's coming into the club.
Mm.
And from as much as I hate to say this, right? If we're looking at interim bosses for the short term, like we're not gonna nobody that's gonna want to build a dynasty at Arsenal isn't gonna want to come in now. Agree?
Oh, agreed. Yeah.
What you will get is short term coaches, and for me, if we're gonna have Jose, I'm against Jose Mourinho coming to Arsenal. Right? He does not represent our values. But right, this is not me contradicting myself. This is me being honest. If he's here for a short term, if he's here from now to the end of the season to help us see out the qualification to the Champions League, and then we get someone else in that's a lot better than him, then I would say, okay, you know what, we'll give it a chance. Rafa Benitez, who's in a massive paycheck at China, right? Honestly, I would have him at Arsenal. For interim from now to the end of the season, he'll win us. I'll be honest with you, he will win us a Europa League title. He will win us a Europa League title. And you're looking at this club, we're looking at if you want an internal recruiter, let's appoint Freddie till the end of the season. We can't see how that's not going to work because Freddie's helped a lot of the young players galvanize themselves to get in. Joe Willocks, your Sackers and all this and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
this is the truth. we're all just sitting back and saying, oh, we're blaming the Cronkies for not putting enough money in. How can we blame them now? Because they've given us what we wanted.
Well,
We've
Josh,
given them.
as I said before, it's no coincidence. When Josh has taken over his dad's, whatever franchises he's inheriting from his dad, they are now improving dramatically because he's investing in them. And in this summer, as I said earlier before he came on, they gave him. I think they wanted to get rid of him back in May after the final, but they thought they'd get a backlash. So they thought, no, we're back. Okay, we'll give him the summer. We're back in. They backed him financially like you wouldn't believe. Proved everyone wrong. And
Let me tell you
we've
something. Let me tell you
now
something.
got a better squad than what we had last year, and performances are worse.
Let me tell you something about Josh Kroenke, right? People think Josh Kroenke is a tight, what do you call it? Let me tell you something. This guy's more ruthless than you think. This guy is brilliant. He won't admit that he's gonna get rid of someone because he knows performances will drop. He knows performances will drop. So if he's gonna get rid of someone, he'll do it on the spot.
Hmm.
He'll do it on the spot. If he wants to get rid of you tomorrow, he'll do it on the spot. So when it comes to
That's why I think when we get battered on Saturday, which we will do, it's way less of a pain. We'll be absolutely humiliated on Saturday. I think within an hour or two he'll be gone. He'll be out of the job.
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this now. Leicester, we're gonna get smashed, right? And they're gonna get rid of him the next day. And when it comes to Josh Kroenke, right? There was this one boss that was at the LA Rams, right? He was, yeah, he was like, oh yeah, you know what? Yeah, I could do with another year here. I'm good enough for one more year. What did Josh Kroenke do? He axed him. He got rid of him. Goes, you're not good enough. And they reached the Super Bowl final the next year. You look at clubs like Chelsea, right? You look at Liverpool, like Lee Judges said, right? You look, say for example, you look at Chelsea, right? Why do you think they're so successful? Why do you think they're so successful? They hold no sentiments towards any coach that they have, no
No,
sentiment whatsoever. And in the world of business, in the world of everything, the way that things go, hang on one second, man. I got a phone call.
as
Hello? Yeah. I've worked. Yeah, Brian, are you still there? You gone? Okay, there, Ryan. Yeah, so basically, I didn't explain the thing.
yeah. So I'm back. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, at the end of the day, he's got the backing, he got everything, but we just gotta like see things out now. Josh Conkley's ruthless. He will, you know,
I think
he'll do it.
whatever happens to Emery come either this weekend or further down the line,
Yeah.
I think Freddie will be safe because I think in their minds they do see him as a future head coach at some point.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I can't. As you said, I can't see him bring anyone long term. They've got him on. I can't see anyone long term in their shortlist of long term managers and want to come in halfway through the season.
Yeah.
The only person sadly, that would want to come in on a short-term basis or whatever basis would be the one person who slagged off this club from day dot back in 2004.
Yeah.
But yeah, the only positive thing is he would sort out our defence. Our defence would actually be organised for once.
Yeah.
I mean, what have we made of Socrates this season? Because, as I said before, since the Everton away game onwards, it's like he's got game by game progressively worse. It's carried over to this season. Because on Saturday, he was near centre back to Jimenez, but he just stood there and rooted to the ground, ball watching, and left it all to Chambers to do.
Yeah.
I mean, what are your thoughts on Socrates? Because as I said earlier, I don't get why he isn't being dropped because he isn't performing like he was at the beginning of last season. I mean, it's not like we haven't got centre backs that can come in and do a better job.
Yeah. I just feel like there's too much faith in below average players at this club.
Yes. I mean, what was your thoughts when Lucas Moura got taken off as well? Even though he was being played out of position in that game, the only defensive-minded midfielder we had, he took him off an attacker. Within 2 minutes, I saw it coming. Within 2 minutes, we were conceding a goal.
Yeah.
And again, Pepe's on the bench. Pepe scores 2 goals, gets his confidence up, and he's been dropped since.
Yeah.
It's anyone that if it's not an Emery signing, someone Emery wanted, he's basically effectively bullying them. You think whatever way you want to look at it, and it's not on. And as Winston says in the chat, the likes of Aubameyang deserve a chance at Champions League football. If we can't, and Lacazette, if we can't get it here, they are going to look elsewhere coming into the season. This is another risk with it. Are the club willing to take that risk? Not only just the 40 million, they'll lose out even more so on the world-class players that we do have.
I tell you the worst thing, Ryan, that Europa League final.
Yeah, I touched on that earlier. That's what I was saying. I think because
It was ours for the taking. It was ours for the taking. We shouldn't have started checking that final. I don't care what anyone says. If we started Leno in that final, that is the biggest mistake Emery made. Starting checking that final. This is why I can't look Sam Petr Cech anymore. But if I ever hear about Petr Cech being a good Arsenal goalkeeper, he's the one that cost us everything.
Well, literally the second because we got obviously Spurs only on the same night, and obviously they got taken away the penalties. The second they won the penalty shootout, I said Cech can't play. He can. If it had been Frankfurt, I'd been okay, fair enough. Last game, he's not. There's no ties between him and Frankfurt, so there's nothing that it can't come back on him in that way. There's emotional ties to him and Chelsea. He should never, ever have fucking started in that match. But you and I got sentimental, started him, and it backfired. I'm sorry, I'll keep repeating it to McClave. Three of them goals he should have saved.
Mm.
And again, Winston's in the chat again, and he's saying we have no connection with Emery. We don't. It's not like with Wenger. 22 years, we built up a connection with the fans of what he achieved in his early years.
Mm.
And the first couple of years at the Emirates, he had a relationship with us. It was hard for us to go the way we did in the end, in the sense of wanting Wenger to move on, basically. But it happened, and we still respect the man for what he did for us, for the club, because without Wenger, we wouldn't be where we are now. Whereas Emery, he's come in and we've got worse. He's lauded for sorting out defences, and our defence is worse than what it was under Wenger in his last 2 years. And this is again, as I said earlier before he came on, and I think I've told you already, I think after that final, they wanted to get rid of him. But they feared the backlash from the media. We never really backed him. So they backed him. And then effectively, it's been proven right. But this is we're in our third season of the Europa League. We cannot, I repeat, cannot afford in so many aspects not to be a Champions League team next season. not just 40 million, but our players as well. Our players will leave. Aubameyang, Lacazette, Ozil, probably stay just to piss off Emery if Emery's still here. But we will lose most of the bulk of our world-class talent that we have. What we have, they will walk. And then we can't replace them. We won't be able to replace them with like for like because you'll be a club that's been for 4 seasons then. But effectively then be officially a full-time Europa League team. And but in the club they make this new set of they made they can't afford to do that. So and Raul thought I've sung Raul praises from day dot. Since we pulled that off and got him in the door for his days at Barcelona. He was a ruthless, you know what, at Barcelona. He's part of the reason when it comes to recruitment and things like all the behind the scenes stuff. He's a huge part of that, massive part of it. Not just transfers, everything. He's ruthless. And I think that's not going to change here because if you watch back to the interview thing with Laura Woods before the Europa League final, passion he showed the two parties. That speaks volumes as well for me. It's like again, it shows that just because he's at Arsenal and not at Barcelona, his work ethic doesn't change. It's the same work ethic. Something a certain Uddin Gazidis never had. And I've said it for the last few weeks. I think Emery was chosen by Ivan to be appointed as a final dig, the final screw you to the Arsenal fans. Because he made it perfectly good. This is his choice. Raul and Vino were part of the interviewing process for people that they had in their shortlist. He had the final say. It was him that chose who'd put forward. And sadly, it was Uno. To be honest, apart from I didn't know. I'm not going to say loads about him. I knew of him, but I thought obviously want the first one. The first one has always been a leg, even now as a long term. But I gave him a chance. Gave him last season to get things in order, and the season's meant to kick on. We haven't, and all this is done. This start of the season has proven to me and James what James Rowe who's been on the channel before, what he was told by a Valencia fan that with Unai Emery, his second season gets worse, and yeah, we're seeing the fruits of that now, and I can't see him surviving past Saturday evening at the push. Sunday. It's a damning indictment. I can't go into any game against anyone, home or away, in any league or cup competition, and have faith that we are going to get a win. It's emotionally draining me again, and I'm not enjoying going to watch my club anymore. But what can you say? What can you do? As fans, all we can say and do is when it's time to have faith that Raul, Vinay, Edu, and Josh are ruthless and know what they're doing and have someone lined up in place. Be that Freddie, or Jose on a short-term basis, or they manage to get someone in now that's going to be long-term, fantastic. But it's not even if, it's when Henry does get given the chop, either this weekend or this. It can't be the 8th. Things we can't push this off. We can't delay and push this off anymore because how can I put it? After this international break, there's no respite because literally coming back from international break and it's coming up, and we've got 3 more Europa League games, 2 of them away, 1 at home. We've got literally got games non-stop throughout November, and in December hits we're going to hit the games every 2 to 3 days for the whole month going into New Year. So this is technically the perfect time to, with all due respect, get rid of him and get their man in. You know, it is a short-term basis, an interim coach until the end of the season. Be it for the yours, I said Jose. Personally, I don't want Jose now in my club, but I just have to suck it up. As long as he can turn things around on a short-term basis until the end of the season, great. As long as the board are doing what they can in the meantime to get their actual full-term replacement head coach in the meantime, fantastic. As I said, as long as he can get that job done, if he comes in, I'll suck it up for a few months, get behind the club and everything, game in, game out, every 90 minutes. And as long as we get top 4, which we should do, with this squad of players, and win either the FA Cup or Europa League that's left for us to win, one of them two. What a fantastic season, what a turnaround that would be. Whoever comes in, be it Josie or Ferdy. But even, for example, it was given to Freddie on an interim to end the season. I think he'll be okay with that because he's getting experience. And I think he would be happy to then step back and learn off someone with more experience to come next season, so to speak. So he gains more experience and works off them. Again, Winston's in the chat again. I'll wait for Sam to come back. I'll get on him in a sec. The way Emery chopped and changed his teams at the end of last season, I touched on this earlier, that in itself cost us. Because it wasn't like he was chopping and changing, like taking out certain players and putting in players that are better. He was putting players he wasn't using early on in the season at all. That was excluding the squad completely. And all of a sudden he started them in the games that we needed to win to get over the line. And it cost us. It fucking screwed us over, with all due respect. Then come the final, we just fucking... As I said, 45 minutes were okay. Second half came out, the team that fucking already got Champions League football. And also, you've got to remember, Zowie up to that match hadn't won a single piece of silver in his entire career. This is the whole point of England coming in, was to get us back in Champions League one way or the other, and the worst case was Europa League. He'd been a specialist in the Europa League, so to speak, apparently. Yeah, he lost. And not only lost, he got battered. Or someone who's never won anything. And yeah, last week we sort of finished third. We were going into the Everton away game. We were third. It was in our hands. It was ours to lose. And literally, he lost it for us, along with the players he selected. and individual errors from Max Mustafi along the way. And Xhaka, who are now in the situation of 3 years of fucking rugby league football. I'll keep saying that. I'm going to say until he does go, and when he does, I will come on here live with guests, and we'll divulge into it. What went wrong? Why didn't it work? Why didn't it work? Who we want? Who everyone wants? You already know who I want long term. But I'll be doing that. Until then, I think that means if what I'm hearing is true, that means I'll be doing 2 shows this weekend. And especially, well, both of them. If things go the way I think they're going to go, I'm going to get high numbers anyway, because it's going to be a big talking point. In not just the Arsenal fan base, but in the Premier League itself and football in general. We was always told to be careful what you wish for when we wanted Wenger to leave. I was like, but it can't be worse than this. And then, as I said earlier, Ivan's obviously gone out of his way, out of all the people we could have had. And let's not forget, we literally almost had it agreed. Everything had been agreed. Bar this transfer policy that Ivan had impacted. The transfer policy that Ivan Gazidis had in place fucked us up getting it agreed there and then. Because everything else he was happy with. Sorry, if I hadn't had that in place and had whatever Allegri wanted, agreed it, we'd be a Champions League Cup this season. Even with the squad that we walked into, the players we brought in, we would have been a top 4 club last year, and we were kicked on this season because of the manager or coach that he is, because of what he demands from his players. And he doesn't fucking at the crucial moments, like Emi's done, chop and change, every other game when we need results most. But hey, what do we know about it? And just before that, I'm going to find while I'm chatting away, find out where Sam is. But also, I've seen a video today where certain media lovies of 1 second. I hope so too, Winston. But we have to play it by ear at the moment. But, yeah, I was saying certain media lovies, certain John Cross and a few others, were apparently on a Sunday supplement on Sky yesterday, and basically digging at Arsenal fans were having an opinion and having high expectations of our club and demanding their best, basically. But how dare we have that expectation of our club, that we want the best. We don't want to be dropping down the league and being mediocre. But it's okay for them to write articles. What was it? All we do is pay. What I meant to come to in a minute. But the first guy was basically saying, Journo was saying, anything else fans do is pay ticket prices on the match day to go to watch their team. They have no divine right to criticise a player or the head coach or this, that, and the other. You're wrong for a start. We have that right because that's our club. We support that club. If things are going wrong, we will be critical. End of. And then John Cross jumped in and basically agreed with it. But these are the same people that, in their own articles and newspapers, are openly critical of said players, said head coach. But because they're getting paid for it, that's okay. Because we're fans and we don't get paid for this, we're not entitled. No, that's bollocks. That's contradicting what you're saying then. Basically, fuck off. So in that case, all the clubs that you come to support, you can never write an article, never ever write an article, do a video, do anything that's criticising the players or the coach, manager of your said teams. Ever. Because you're fans. But yeah, I don't know where it stands. I'm trying to get hold of him and see what's happened. Maybe that computer died or something. Winston White, if you're still in the chat, who would be your short-term fix as a coach, and who would be your long-term fix as a coach, replacing Emery, being that he is gone by Sunday morning after we get battered by Leicester? Because I can't. It's not. That's why you're answering that. It's not like I said. I have no faith in us going to any game, home or away, and getting a result. At least under Arsene Wenger, even at the end, you would expect in a bad run that out of nowhere, he'd pull a result out of the bag that prolong him, that turn things around and prolong him a bit longer. I can't see it ending. Because as I said at the beginning of this stream, we just get game by game, we are getting literally worse and worse and worse. Let's just go and check. Where's it? There. Excuse me. Sorry, I was going to check what's texting saying. 1 second. Okay. I'm going to check my poll. Because also, if you haven't already, go follow me now on Twitter. My Twitter handle's on the screen there. And I'm currently running a poll for the next couple of days of what sort of content you guys want me to bring to this channel, add to the channel basically. And the choices at the moment are this poll, a Premier League preview and roundup, or daily Arsenal news shows, or watch-alongs, or something else. If it's something else, comment in the response box, and I will see that, and I'll put that in another poll, and we'll go from that. And after the international break, whoever wins, I'll start bringing that forward. We'll implementing that into my channel, and gut your foot and so on and so on. One sec. So Winston again said if he's allowed to go at the end of the season in current form, he will not qualify. Exactly. I can't. That's what this was what I was saying Saturday. After the game of Saturday, he's like not only can I not see us getting Champions League football, I can't even see us finishing in the Europa League spot or winning the Europa League because, let's be honest, especially the Champions in the Europa League, the top boys from Champions League drop down. Like the Atletico drop down, we are going to get mugged over. It's only by pure luck that we got that Napoli was a team that dropped in last year. Everyone expected to win, but they just didn't bother to turn up. It's only by pure luck that happened. Yeah, let's not forget, we were literally moments away from that being Liverpool. Because Napoli was in Liverpool's group in the Champions League, and it was literally just seconds in it. Just a few moments in it away from it being Liverpool. But they just, by the skin of their teeth, turned it down at the last moment, last second or whatever it was. And at that moment, obviously, instead of Liverpool dropping in, it was Napoli. So if Liverpool dropped in, we'd have got them in the quarterfinals and got absolutely battered. Yay. But people forget that. The ones that are still behind you, are still hanging on to that. They don't, in the sense of we're not done that with last year. They got to a final against a team that's already in the Champions League. that would be, as I said, manager had never won anything, and for the whole season they've been piss poor, getting battered by the likes of Bournemouth left, right, and centre. That's not finished above us in the league, but either way, get to a final. The emphasis was on us, and he bottled it. And and the thing is, if we're thinking this, Winston, surely the club are thinking this as well. Got to be. Got to be. And if so, as I said, I've said numerous times in this stream alone, either Saturday evening or early Sunday morning, he's out of a job. Because Leicester, the form that they're in, the last two league games alone, just league, they've scored 10 goals, conceded 0. You include their League Cup match, that's 13 goals, conceded 1. That's like our fucking defence is fucking all over the place. With what, 5, 6, we conceded 8, and then we have scored 8. Okay, now, gotta love it, haven't you? So yeah, I've got no expectation is that we're going to get better, and he's going to get the job Sunday morning. Winston, if they're still there, who do you want to replace him, either short term or long term? And after I get your answer, I'll start wrapping up. And one way for the answer, wait for his answer to be sent in the chat. I think now, because obviously the Premier League match will be on Wednesday, I'll record a video for a preview and edit it and this and the other. And that'll be going out Wednesday morning, like literally early Wednesday morning. Winston's set to go, so that's fun. So I'll be back again. The next live stream will probably be on Wednesday night for reviewing, or Thursday night for reviewing the Europa League match. But yeah, as I say, I will record a preview. I'll put that out on the Wednesday morning. Put at the latest Wednesday morning, hopefully tomorrow night. And yeah. What can I say basically? From obviously Winston and everyone else has been watching this along live. Thank you, appreciate it, and thanking Winston, especially even more so for the comments that we've gone through about the night. Thanks to Sam as well for his contribution tonight, and hopefully as I get back on again soon, doesn't have any more technical issues to his end. But yeah, as I said before, as I just said a couple minutes ago, my Twitter handle is on the screen here. Give me a follow on there, so you see all my any polls I'm doing at the moment, as I said earlier. Any shows that stuff that's coming up in the channel, I'll post it there first, so everyone there get a heads up. And yeah, if you do want to come on this channel as well, voice your opinions if you're ending in or ending out. Either, as I said, follow me on Twitter and DM me, and I'll get back to you and sort something out there, or put a comment in the comment section below after this. And yeah, again, we'll sort something out. But yeah, if you're watching this back now, and you like what you're seeing and hearing this, that, and the other, and you want to see what else I'm going to bring to the channel, joining from the international break onwards, do subscribe, do hit the like button, and share this channel and help this channel grow a lot quicker. And yeah, and grow this channel together. And yeah, Another one thing that I will be doing during the international break, I did touch on it a couple of weeks ago. Basically, I'll be doing a live stream, just me, where I will be exposing a so-called Arsenal YouTuber. That's, how can I put it? A fraud, basically, to be polite. And yeah, a fraud, a cheat, a liar. So I've got that coming in, and that will be happening in the international break. About 4 days into the international break, I'll be doing that. Again, that'll be live. Just me. I'll give everything I have on this person, I'll be putting it out there to yourselves. And yeah, because at the moment he is conning people, or been conning people since what, February, March time, to subscribe to his channel, and basically stealing other YouTubers' content that's Arsenal related, and literally trying to pass it off his own. And when I and others have pulled him up on it, they'll claim it's all him editing. I've checked, and it's bullshit. And then suddenly the videos disappear that he put up. Because the videos that he counts are his, that are not. I mean, what are the odds of you creating a video, the exact same footage and music and editing to a T, like someone else on the Arsenal YouTube community, and even to literally steal videos of the Arsenal club itself and try to pass them off as your own. Come on. I know, you know. That ain't cool. Also, we get into the case where you've been DMing other female Arsenal Twitter profiles, trying to get it on, so to say. But yeah, you've been very creepy. But yeah, that's all to come next week. Basically, that'll be next Thursday. The next Wednesday, next Thursday, that'll be coming more detail. You know, I'm literally going in because I gave him the benefit of the doubt, stepped back, and he thought he'd give it a couple of weeks or a month or two, and he thought something up again. And yeah, claims he has his own ideas, but literally just picking up ideas from other channels. Because it works for them. Oh, if it works for them, I'll use it for myself. I think it's got to the point. What tips me to do this? That another YouTuber, Arsenal YouTuber, has decided over the course of summer to side with this person. Even with all the evidence against this person I'm going to be exposing, decided to side with this person and completely ostracize them. And what round it home was tonight they did a live stream together on this person's channel, that side of the thing. And I thought I'd watch well. Putting a few comments in, and one comment in particular I was attacked on. But 5 minutes ago, the person I'm about to expose next week was basically saying, come Saturday, when we lose, he's fully in me out. All I said was, I've been in me out since Man United at half time, and explained my reasons why. And got my head ripped off for it. at the end of P's era. So, yeah, fun times ahead. But until then, as I said, my next videos coming up will be on either tomorrow night or Wednesday morning. I will then be doing a review of the Europa League match against Victoria away the following night. And I'll try and get James on for that. And from that, I'll be doing a preview on Friday evening with some guests. And then I might be doing a watch along for the Leicester game. More likely I will be. Just waiting for a couple of guests to confirm they're definitely available. And then, yeah, and either do a straight, and then either we'll do a review of the match straight afterwards on the same stream, or later on that night. Once everything's in place, I'll let everyone know on my Twitter. Again, if you're new to the channel, you like what you've seen, and you want to know what's coming in the future for this channel, down the line, other content, not just podcasts, but these sort of show, or more regular content I'll usually pump out on here. Yeah, do subscribe and do hit the like button and do share. And I'll greatly appreciate that. You have no idea what sort of buzz I'll get out of that, in the sense of, because then that tells me I'm doing something right. And I am again talking to the likes of Kevin Campbell, obviously offline, privately, trying to organise when to have himself and others back on this channel at some point in the next few weeks when they're available. And yeah, until then, just I don't know. But I can say enjoy your week, but obviously, just don't stress about Arsenal. Don't think about Arsenal. As long as that's the case, enjoy the rest of your week. You will enjoy the rest of your week until obviously Wednesday night, and we'll do what we do best at Arsenal. But apart from that, just enjoy it. As I keep saying, keep repeating myself out of here. Enjoy your week. And again, I'll see you very, very soon. Very busy week ahead for me, so I'll see you very, very soon. And until then, as always, up the Arsenal.